Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's continue our complete beginner's guide to Terminus Zombie Survivors. So I'm coming back after having saved the game, and the first thing I always do when I do this is take a look at the upper left to see what time it is. So it is 2 p.m. and we have 6 hours until sunset. This becomes important for thinking about our next moves because it's dark and we do not, let's see here. We don't have a working flashlight. So because we don't have a light source, we're in bad shape for nighttime and probably want to find a place to stay, like a house, for the evening. Check the temperature to make sure that you're okay. Now, I haven't mentioned temperature too much except for in relationship to clothing, and that's the primary way that you will get to warm yourself up. The game on this mode, you start out and it's chilly. It's like 55 degrees. It's going to get colder at night, but it's also going to get progressively colder as we go, and it gets even worse if it starts raining. Right now, we don't have any issue with being cold, but your character will tell you if you are cold with an icon and a debuff. But if you go to details, you can check your temperature, and this will tell you your temperature, the temperature that you feel. So it's 55.3 degrees Fahrenheit outside, and I feel that same temperature because if we go back to our inventory, I don't have any clothing on except for this bag. I mean, I'm wearing like basic clothes, but I don't have anything to warm me up. So that's a huge concern for us as well. So by just kind of looking at where you're at in the upper left, you can game plan for what you're focusing on, what you should be doing, and how you should be prioritizing your turns in the immediate moment. And then also we can look down here in the lower left, see how many AP we have left. Remember, when you're coming back from not having played or you're entering a new screen, don't do anything until you really calculate your AP, because you don't want to reveal the zombie and then not have enough AP to get away from it or kill it. Our satiety and hydration are fine. We're getting low-ish on energy. It's about halfway. So we're going to start getting tired. And that's, coinciding with evening coming on anyway. So we're going to want to sleep. There is a makeshift bandage on the ground. We do not have one. And so I'm going to go over here and pick this up. A makeshift bandage will heal bleeding, but it causes infection. So it's kind of like robbing Peter to pay Paul, but bleeding is terrible. It will kill you because you're losing hit points. Infection is bad, but it's the lesser of two evils if you have to choose between one. So this is a reasonable thing to have in an emergency situation. We also happen to have 2 antibiotics, which will cure the infection, so that's pretty nice. Now, if I mouse over my character, another thing that I haven't yet explained, as I kind of just work to try to explain every little bit that you can, the blue box that outlines our character when we mouse over is our field of vision. So that's just telling us like where we can see. I can move over here, and this is inside the house, and there's a dresser over here, but there's no doors or windows. I'm going to see, this will move and take 2.6 AP, which is okay, I'm fine with that. And we could see the door. I'm going to move up this way, and I'm going to stop moving right now and save the rest of my AP. I don't necessarily want to go in front of the door. The zombos can't, as far as I know, open the door. They might beat on it, but I'm okay with just being right here. I'm just going to push spacebar and end the turn. Remember, even though we had some AP left over, it just carries over to the next turn as long as we aren't pushing past our max. All right, so there's actually an open door up here, and I'm going to use that instead, and an open window. And you're going to see there's a car up here, which is interesting. We can see inside here, what is this? This is a rat trap. Okay, if you want to try to, forage for food and catch some rats. Okay, go over here. There's a dead person. You can search these. However, if you search a rotten corpse, you have a chance, or it's automatic, to get diseased. So usually I leave them unless I have an easy way to cure disease, which I do. So let's just go over here to this tile, and I'll pick up the rag, sure, and then we will search this, and it says it will cause disease. So let's just search it, and we found a helicopter, flight manual, and some vitamins. Okay, so not really worth it, but worth demonstrating what happens and why. I'm just going to be perfectly honest with you. In my games, I normally never search these things because I just don't want disease. But we did have the 2 antibiotics, and I could demonstrate what happens. Now, we got vitamins, which there's a lot of medicine that's like this, antidepressants. How about I say that correctly? Antidepressants. And both of those work where it's like, you see, this just generates energy for you for 6 hours. So this can help you power through and not need as much sleep or be impacted by that for a bit, which is actually pretty nice. And then we also got ourselves the helicopter flight manual. And this is what I was telling you about. If you want to use the helicopter method to win the game, you have to find all 5 volumes of this. This is volume 3, and then read them all to learn how to fly a helicopter, and then you can escape on the helicopter. It's more of like, I mean, I guess you could RP that you want to do that, or it's just, in my opinion, an achievement type of thing. Like, you're just trying to challenge yourself and get this alternative victory condition, because this is a lot more involved than just trying to head for Terminus, which is what we're doing. But it's worth pointing out that that's what it is. Now, I'm actually just going to drop this. I don't need this at all. I'm not going to read that. Okay. Now, what does disease do? And you can see right here, it's just telling us that we have a disease. We could take the antibiotics, or we could recover it by sleeping. I'm going to close the tutorial, and it says right here, disease is going to decrease our hit points by 1 each turn, and reduce AP recovery by 10%. So this is bad. However, we're going to be sleeping soon, so we might not have to use our antibiotics. We could save them. And I think I'm going to demonstrate what happens if you try to wait it out with a disease. Okay, great. We got a backpack. So this school bag has a capacity of 15. It reduces our weight by 40%. Its condition is not great. It gives you 1 encumbrance, which because it's a worn item. However, we're going to just right-click and put it on our back. You can only wear 1 type of item on your back. And you're going to see that by putting this on, our inventory weight, let's see, it should be reduced. But actually, to be honest, it's the way that this is working. We can't. I'm going to take it off. Yeah, you see, we go from 11.9. It is reducing our weight. It's just not dramatically, but it's still pretty good. I'm going to put it back on. So anything over 8 is going to give us that penalty, but that's okay. That's still pretty good. And we'll go back over here. I can't do that because we're out of AP. I'm going to put a space bar, and then you see we take damage because of our disease, because we passed the turn. And there's a lot to still search in this house. There's a zombie up there. It did see us, and you can mouse over it to see its movement range, the red border, and then you see that arrow that indicates the last location that it saw us. So it's going to probably try to come and break through this window because it thinks, you know, we're still there. There's some gloves right here, which is great, but I'm just going to step 1 square to make sure there's no zombies, and then I'll go over here. I'm going to pick up the gloves, and we're just going to wear them. The condition, they're going to fall apart any second now, unfortunately, but they do, you see how these are warm you up. They provide 1.2 degrees Fahrenheit of your temperature, like they give you a plus, so you feel, if I put these on, you'll see that we actually now feel 61.1, so less cold because we have some gloves on. I'm going to search this. Oh, great. Okay, so we found a windbreaker and a hoodie and an umbrella, which we could use to hit people with, like Mary Poppins, but also you can use it to protect yourself when it rains, which is very good. The windbreaker gives you 18% water resistance, but the main thing we're talking about here with this is that it warms you up, as does the hoodie. The windbreaker actually provides a very slight amount of defense, 0.3. The hoodie does not, but both of these, we're going to put on the hoodie, we're going to put on the windbreaker, and I'm going to take the umbrella. Now, you'll see that my encumbrance has gone up because I'm wearing more clothing, but this is just a necessary evil. I like to wear a lot of clothes, and you're going to need it as the time passes in the game. It's just going to get colder and colder, and you need to be warm. So right now we're at 66.2. Now you might think, oh great, we're done. You know, that's really nice. But remember, like I was telling you with Zelda Breath of the Wild, everything breaks. So, you know, everything will lose durability over time or when we get hit. So we need to make sure that we have plenty of good durability clothing to keep us warm, because it's going to just like fall off our body at some point. I don't have enough to search the rest of this. That's fine. That zombie didn't even seem to move. I'll search here. There is a book that can teach you cold adaptation, which is actually pretty good. We'll go down here. Okay, great. We got a painkiller and we got an ointment to heal any burns. Specific medicines and things like that are just so nice to have. There is a novel, which is great for morale, and there is a crafting recipe book. These crafting recipe books can be really, really useful depending on what they teach you. Knife spear is good, you know. These are nice, so you could... I'm going to take both of these. You could use these. This is couch, by the way. We're going to sleep on this couch with our blanket. I believe they will stack. Blankets don't stack with each other, but you can get a pillow, you can get a blanket, and you can sleep on a couch to just boost our quality of sleep, which is tremendous. Now, I have 3 hours before it gets dark. I am losing hit points, but when we sleep, we should regenerate our health as long as we have the rest of our stats are positive. So, for example, I can eat this banana, I could eat this lettuce, and I'm going to eat this orange and just boost morale, get ourselves going a little bit. We could also, if we wanted to, take a drink of beer to just really top off our morale. And you'll notice now that our hit points actually are going to be positive. Now, why is that? Again, mousing over everything helps us, because we're losing 1 hit point from disease, but because we're well fed, our satiety is filled up, we're well hydrated, and we're warm, another benefit of having a nice relationship with the temperature, we actually are going to gain 0.4 hit points next turn. So, amazing. Oh, it does tell you too right here, if you get bitten by a zombie, you'll die regardless of your hit points. So if a bite lands on you, just like in Project Zomboid, it can lead to your infection and death. Now, that doesn't mean every hit from a zombie will kill you in one shot. Far from it. They usually don't bite you. They're swiping at you. But it just means be very careful when you're engaging with a zombie. I'm going to go over here. And we're out of AP. I'm just going to wait. And there is a zombie in here, but there's more stuff. Always mouse over the zombies and see what their stats are. How many actions it has, how many hit points it has, how much damage it's going to do, if it's got anything special about it. It doesn't. I'm going to walk right here, and I'm just going to right-click on this guy. And I can use the plank to bop this guy, and I will. Now, this will not kill this guy. It's going to do a little bit of damage. And it breaks, but it just kind of allows us to use that. And then I'm going to use my axe and finish the job. Remember, I'm using the axe because as a fireman, or a firefighter, I should say, we lose less durability on our axes. So we're really good with the axe. I'm going to search here. Okay, great. We found a bunch of good stuff. These are fresh foods. Early in the game, you will find a lot of fresh stuff, and then as time passes, because the power has been cut, even items that are in a refrigerator or a freezer at the grocery store will begin to spoil. So you want to gather as much fresh stuff as you can and eat that first. Eat anything that you have that has a timer on it that's going to like go bad, and save. Like the flour is this packaged food that just gives you a ton of satiety and does not ever go bad. So you want to save these items like this for when, you know, the last item that you eat. And I still have time to kill this zombie out here. And I'm going to open the door and just wait. Now this was a little risky, yeah, because I can't see around the corner. And you see a zombie walking over there. This might be the same zombie that saw us. I want to search the car and then come back in and sleep. I want to kill this zombie because I don't want it wandering in. One shot to the head. You see our durability is still at 80%. Zombies always drop a rag. Minimum. When you fight him. And then let's go to the car. And we... Oh, there still is a zombie over here. Alright, so we got to kill this zombie to make sure that we don't have any problems. Almost got it in one shot. Unfortunately, had to use two. And now we can search the car, but we don't have enough AP. So hopefully there's no more zombies on this screen. But now, okay, here we go. I get to show you what nighttime looks like. This is night. We can see hardly anything. You will see the ghosted, you know, representation of what things did look like when you saw them last, if you've explored the area. So we can still see where the car is and where the house is, but we don't know what's in there actively and moving around. Now, if you want, you can use some gas and start a little fire to get a little bit more visibility, but I'm just going to click on the car and search it. Now, when you search a car, what ends up happening is it gives you all sorts of information about it. It's not like a regular container, but you could see when I tooltip, it's broken, so we'd have to repair it. It does have some gasoline, so it could actually travel a reasonable distance, or you could siphon this gas away if you want it. And inside, it's got a bunch of other items for us to take, which it says items, and you just left-click on it, and you get all these options, and just go to the Store Items button at the bottom of this tab, and then we could take the food. We could take these potent vitamins. These are even better than before. You could take ammunition in case we get a gun. The fanny pack is amazing. I'm going to wear it on my waist, and I don't need a gas can. I don't plan on taking a car at all. I just wanted to see what was in it, and we're going to leave. Getting cars and driving them around can be a way to like win the game very rapidly. If you get a bunch of gas, you find a working car, and can get a nice route, you can just like motor to the end. But it's not very likely in my experience. It's hard to get a working car. It's hard to get enough gasoline. You end up doing a lot of travel to make it happen, but you are certainly more than welcome to do it. I'm going to go inside here. I'm going to close this door, and I'm just going to get ready to sleep. I'm not going to sleep just yet. My energy is not horrifying. I'm going to move as far as I can, and I'm going to close this door. So now every door, or there's no windows, every door is closed, which will provide us with some nice insulation. I'm going to end the turn for sleeping. And I'm going to come up down over here, and I'm going to now use this couch. So I'm going to, well, we could search the couch first, I guess. And there's a I thought it was a pillow. It's a towel. This is actually pretty good for drying yourself off. And there's a broken digital watch, if you want to use an alarm to wake yourself up. We have an umbrella, so I'm not going to take that towel. I don't really need the extra weight. Now, let's go ahead and go to sleep. I'm going to you can push Z or just click the sleep button over here. And when you do, it's going to give you options. Set amount of time. You have to have an alarm clock or like that digital watch to set an alarm for that to work. But now we can sleep just until our energy is fully restored, or we could sleep until our disease is gone. And as it says here, it won't kill you. If your satiety or hydration reach 0, you'll wake up so you don't die from one of those things. So I'm going to pick the second option and just try to sleep until my disease wears off. And we're recovering. Now, once you click sleep, though, you have to push spacebar to end the turn, and it's going to start passing turns rapidly. You're going to see turns just passing as your character recovers. Our energy is going up. You see our AP going up, and our disease has been recovered, and it is 3 a.m. We are thirsty, but now, look at us. We're full hit points. Our morale is full. Our energy is full. Disease recovered. So we're doing great. It's still dark, but we're at a house. This is a safe area. Now, that doesn't mean new zombies, they can wander on, in my experience, like they can appear or spawn, but none did. And we've already searched this place. So you have some choices here. We can look at the map and just kind of plan where we want to go next. And we are here. You could see both of these locations link up to the fire station. I'm going to go northeast and then go northwest to the fire station, but I want to see what options I have northeast to try to move, kind of this way going north. I don't really want to go to the far west of the map. I want to stay central. I don't want to go to the railroad, though, but I'd like to kind of curl up this way, and that's my plan. However, I have some time, and I don't want to wander around in the dark. So what you can do in a spot like this is you can open up and read books. If you have a desk in the house, you get more efficiency at reading. We don't have any desks. Or wait, is this... No, it's a bookshelf, yeah, unfortunately. But this is a bookcase, this is a dresser, this is a bookcase, wardrobe, couch, fine. Okay. So, what do we want to read? What will be useful for us? We don't need to read the novel because our morale is good. Cold adaptation is actually really interesting to me. Cat's Eye is also kind of cool. But I like the idea of just being good. It doesn't make you warmer. It just means you won't be cold unless it gets much colder. So that's pretty good. Knife Spear, I'm not as excited about, just because I plan on using axes because we are a firefighter. So you could choose whatever skill you want. If you want to learn how to make cooked lobster, that's great. I haven't seen that many lobsters yet, so it seems less important. But anyway, we also are hungry and thirsty, so let's just look at our food situation and see if there's anything. I'll just eat this orange and, that orange, and now I feel a lot better. And I could drink if I wanted to top myself off and get more AP regeneration. Like I could just right-click, hold it to drink until I'm now well hydrated, and we are, just absolutely topped off in all categories. And I'm going to just say, let's try to get cold adaptation. We're not going to probably be able to finish this. Usually, as I've done it, it can take like 5 or 6 hours of your day to try to finish a book. So you could prioritize that if you really, really want the skill or the stat increase or whatever benefit it gives you. But I just do it right now as a way to kind of pass the time instead of fumbling around in the dark. So I'm going to just hold right-click on cold adaptation and spend all my AP. I'm going to push spacebar, end the turn. And we've got 2 hours. I'm going to go back in my inventory, and I'm going to right-click and hold it to read the rest, or as much as I can. Spacebar. And we're going to do this. And you can see we're at 71%, which is pretty good. And now we've leveled up. Remember, leveling up is just by spending AP. And to be honest, it's another reason why being well-fed, well-hydrated, and having all of the benefits of mental health and energetic to get more AP regeneration, whatever gives you more AP, is good, because if you can spend the extra AP that you're generating, you will level up faster because you have more AP to spend. So of these skills, we could get Pathfinder, which is actually pretty good. It reduces the AP to move to another place by 10%. Pretty sweet. bargaining, which helps you trade with other survivors if you find a survivor house. But what I want is rescue expertise, because now we're going to lose even less durability on axes and crowbars. This is like, I love this ability because I like to kill the zombies and thoroughly search at the beginning to build up my arsenal, and then when I'm making the dash for the end, there's a lot of hard zombies that I want to kill, and you run out of weapons really quickly. But if you have an axe or two with the top level firefighter ability for durability on axes, you just won't have to worry about running out of weapons. It's great. And I'm going to push spacebar to end the turn. Okay, so now it's day, and we can move. And I could sit here and read the rest of this if I wanted to get the skill, but I don't want to waste any daylight at all. It's also possible that if you wanted to, instead of reading last turn, you could have preemptively moved yourself outside to not waste AP moving. It's just up to you. But what I'm going to do now is take these potent... actually, I'm going to take the bad vitamins. I'll save the potents for the end. I'm going to use these just so we get even more energy. And I'm going to eat this orange just to kind of help top off satiety and hydration. And I don't need to eat the potato at the moment or really anything else. I'm just going to move here, open, and try to move all the way over here. Remember, I want to go northeast. I don't have enough AP to get there. I'm going to regenerate 13.4. So I won't max out, but it's really close. I'm pretty sure the max that I have is 20. I'll find out. Yeah, okay, great. And then let's go up. So we're going to a new location, and it's a church. So churches are mixed bag. Like, of course, you're going to find Bibles. And it's telling us about dangerous place. Dangerous places can't be visited, and zombies are constantly coming into the surrounding places. So, sorry, I explained this incorrectly before. Of course, you want to avoid dangerous places, but you can't even go to them. But the reason you're trying to avoid them is because that they're sending more zombies around them. So that fire station is going to be probably crowded with zombies. You see this path is slashed because that's where the dangerous place is. So we don't want to stay near it. Churches also always or usually have a bunch of zombies also inside, who were just huddling up in the church. So the loot in them can be okay. They have a library a lot of the times, which can be useful, but it's not my favorite. However, you do get, if you have a Bible, let's see if we have one. We don't. If you have a Bible, you actually get extra morale if you read the Bible inside the church. So it's a nice way to get some bonus morale. But if we look at the map, I would like to go to the fire station, even though it's going to be dangerous, to try to get an axe and maybe some other supplies. And also just scout it out. If it's too dangerous, well, then we're going to leave. Oh, there was some scrap metal and a wooden needle on the tile. Interesting. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to move up here. And how much will I recover? 13. I'm going to stop, because I don't want to reveal any zombies right now. They don't see me, so I'm just going to kind of pretend like... And this... You see how it tells us it's going to the fire station even though we haven't been to the fire station yet? That's because we know the location of it. If you use a street map or you use a pamphlet to find the location of a certain type of building, then you'll know the path when you mouse over it. All right. So let's look inside here. In the kitchen, there doesn't appear to be anybody. The window is locked. However, as it's telling you, locked doors and windows, they can be forced open if you have a crowbar or fire axe, which is another reason why fire axes are so nice. This window is open here, but it goes into a different room, and this room is clean, so I might want to just go into this first as a starting point. And if you use a crowbar or fire axe, it does not make the same amount of noise as if you use something else to like break it open, which is really sweet. So I'm going to go ahead and just force open with right click and use the fire axe to do that. And I'm going to end the turn. It does take durability to force it open. And we're going to go in. Okay, and let's see. So we could see there is a cabinet. Here's a desk for reading, and here's another cabinet. Oh, I kind of thought this was a kitchen, but I was wrong about that. And this door actually, or this window did end up going in here. I wasn't sure if this wall continued down. Okay, so let's just start searching everything that we can. Here we go. This is another axe. It's not a fire axe, but it's still an axe, which our perk works with. Duct tape. Duct tape is insane because they're telling you about crafting, and it's an ingredient you use for a lot of crafting. So if I click on the crafting, we could see, we can now make some makeshift armor, etc. But the real good thing about duct tape or like glue and things is you can just use this to boost the condition of an item that you have. So I can use this of a weapon that you have, I should say. And our fire axe, which is at 62, or this regular axe, we want to boost the fire axe. We could just take this back up to 77% with the duct tape, just like that. It's phenomenal. And we go over here, and I'm going to search this. And we found a radio, which can tell us where Terminus is. Excellent. I'm going to open this, and we're going to use it. We are at the Terminus, north of the city. If there are people alive, please come here. The location of the place is blah. We are zombie survivors. We've stocked up on food and medicine, and we got a solid defense to protect us from zombies. If there are people alive, please come to the Terminus. So now turn off the radio, and we now know the location of Terminus. And if we look at the map, it's here. So it's not like in the center necessarily. It's you follow the railroad, but the railroad branches off into different directions, and it's up here. So this is where we want to go. So now we know our destination. And if we could, you can listen to the radio once per day. And if we listen to it 2 more times, we'll find the location of some safe houses where they've stored some extra food and stuff, which can be useful. And now we have the rest of the fire station to explore, and we're doing great. Everybody, I hope you're still finding this series to be useful and fun. I want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll check you in the next one. Take care.